Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Watcher of Realms video. Guys, I want to do a showcase today of probably the best epic support in the game. Oh damn, top two. We're going to be looking at Hollow today. So a lot of people would have picked Hollow up over the weekend because of the summoning event that was on. And I would say for me, Hollow is in 90% of my teams. She's extremely valuable. And I'm talking about someone who's got a reasonable amount of gold here. I guess I haven't got probably like the best gold support, the best legendary supports in the game, but I've got some decent ones. I still feel like I bring Hollow into a lot of my teams. So we're going to be taking a look at how I've built her out, where I use her at the moment, and looking at her, from a lower level point of view, but also then how I use her in kind of like more towards endgame stuff. So what's going on with Hollow? Why is she so good? She's actually got quite a simplistic kit. Her ult, when triggered, and you do need to trigger this, even if you put like automatic ults on, sometimes she won't do this in the way that you want her to, so that's something to bear in mind. But when triggered, increases the hero's healing multiplier by 45% for 20 seconds and can heal more targets. And then she's got here as well, if you're waking up to level 5, each cast of Light of Bliss increases the efficiency of accumulating rage by 15%. Like awakening her up high is actually really good. And that's really where her strength is. So when Light of Bliss is activated, which is a ult I just read, recovers 1.4% rage for allies in range. So basically what you're doing is you're topping up everybody else's ult really quick, whilst also being a relatively decent healer. Not a crazy good healer, but decent enough for most content in the game. So what that means is every time you're healing and ulting, you're basically topping up everyone else's ults. Super good. Means you get all of your damage dealers to get their ults off more frequently. I do have mine awakened up. You get some decent benefits. You get a bit of extra rage restoration on awakening 1, reduced cost ult on 3, and then I already said about 5. In terms of the artifact, I've got the Euphoric Orb, so increases the attack speed of all heroes in range by 30 every 60 seconds. So it's another boost to damage for everyone who's around me. And then I've also got her in Invid gear with a lot of attack speed. So the main things I would call out with a Hollow build, try and attack often, because the higher speed attacks you're doing, the more, even if you do a lot of small heals, you actually top up your ult bar a lot quicker than doing slow, fat heals. So you notice my attack is not crazy high, my speed is high, and my rage regen is high as well. I've gone for attack bonus here, attack speed here, and then rage regen here. And this is unusual. I don't normally put rage regen, honestly, on anyone. So this is quite unusual, but just felt like it was the right thing to do. I've then gone for attack speed here with good roll of attack speed and healing effect. So the whirlwind set, and obviously attack bonus and stuff here as well. So a bit of health to keep her alive, but not really a lot. It's more about trying to get lots of small heals out as quick as we can to try and get the ults away as fast as we can. So first two places I want to show you is actually Guild Boss for like the lower level team and then a higher level team. Let me in the game. Come on. So let me just grab my stuff. So if we look first at Nightmare 2, okay, so this is kind of more like the entry level. We're trying to get over 2100 here. And I've just pulled together what I would class as a more free to play or, earlier game type of team. So our main damage being Wrath. My Wrath is Awakened 5, so perhaps you wouldn't have that. It doesn't mean that you get some self-healing, but we don't really need it because Hollow's going to heal anyway. We have got Gluttony, who again, epic hero, does a decent level of damage. Kook is a good rare for an early game type of team, so literally just throwing on him some good attack speed stuff so that he'll land his poison consistently, and if he's landing poison, he's going to do a decent level of damage for you. We've got Mary in, because Mary will give us a nice vulnerability to physical and magical damage. So we've got her with, again, rather than damage build, she's got high attack speed. We've then got Hollow as our kind of like primary healer, but also someone giving us that rage. We've got Dolores, who is actually probably the #1 best support, but yeah, Dolores and Hollow together are super efficient. She is boosting everyone's damage. I've got Iona in just because she's fairly obtainable as an early game player. And then we've got Idril in as well for some damage. Okay, let's get into the fight then. You do want to make sure that, let's just skip this. You want to make sure you go straight down to 1x speed when you're setting up. So I like to do hollow on the right-hand side of the board. Also like to flick the camera. We get Raph right in there. Gluttony behind. My Kuka just put at the back. You notice that Hollow's range right now is covering everybody that I'm putting down. We're going to put Dolores in here, who's going to boost the attack of everybody. Mary nice and up top. Iona in here. And then we have Idril in here as our final piece. Now we can go 2x speed. So as I say, like the ults won't pop unless we need it. It's worth saving Hollow's ult until everybody else's ult is popping. It's probably also just generally at this level, you can get through that shield really quickly. So I meant to do that there. As soon as you've popped everyone's ults, let's just pause a second. As soon as you've popped everyone's ults, even if they're still activating their ult, you can use Hollow's ult. And what will happen is you're actually getting all of the rage regen away whilst ults are being used, so that when they finish their ult, they have a good chunk of their ults back again. At this level, at Nightmare 2, I mean, yeah, to a certain degree, you do want to still save for the big hits. Yeah, you want to save to break down the shield with your main kind of like damage ability. So you want to hold people like Dolores back and go kind of like full damage at the right time. But honestly, I feel like you could just turn ults on and it's not too bad at this level. So I can ult here at this point, and we're going to get through to the shield soon. I'm going to pop Hollow straight away. All of these little mini heals keeping everyone alive. Super efficient. Now we've got to get through the shield. Super easy to do. I guess my Deering's helping me through that. And I can just kind of like pop ultimates as and when now. She's just a really, really good healer. You notice if I've got ults on full here, so she's not using her. See this? She's not using it because no one needs healing. That's why I'm saying that she is actually someone that you need to pay some attention with and pop her ult for her. She's a little bit silly in that way. So you do need to make sure that you are paying a bit of attention. But we'll find that we get through. Am I going to have any ults back in time? Probably not, because I'm just trying to do stuff whilst I'm talking. But ultimately, I think we get through it anyway with my team here. The poisons are doing a lot of work. And yeah, we're fine. But yeah, she just becomes super efficient at healing this team. Nobody else is dropping me heals. Dolores does a tiny amount of healing. But, you know, for a Nightmare 2, all epic team, apart from Kook here, very, very comfortable. Like, we're never in any sort of danger of being dead. And I think we only needed to get to like, was it like 2.5k or something to beat Nightmare 2? So very obtainable levels of damage once you start to get yourself some good synergies of team. Poisons, burns up, you know, the vulnerabilities up, just everything about it is making it quite comfortable to do. So 6.4k blood there, super easy, job done. And if we look at the actual place that I play, so I play, you know, right up at Nightmare 4, and generally I'm 2 key in it. Oh, nice rewards. Oh, beautiful. So I'll let mine play through here. So just to show you Nightmare 4 as well, this is auto team that I run. So Hollow is over here on the back left. She's giving rage regen to my Dolores, but basically pretty much anyone on the map, okay? I'm running a full rage regen team here. So we've got Hollow. I've got Laurel, who comes in and out of this spot next to Hollow. And we're basically ulting as often as they're available. We're getting Dolores ult off as often as I can. Silas ult off as often as I can. I've got a Ratcher in the team, which gives a boost to damage to Hex and Silas. And yeah, it's generally just a case of get in there, make sure that we smack down the shields at the right time. And so timing for me is important when I set this up. But generally, I'm doing a good 25k blood around that, you know, each key. So I'm able to kind of like get a 2 key away on Nightmare 4, and then I use the same squad for Nightmare 3 as well, and I 1 key Nightmare 3. Sometimes this one's tight, depending on RNG. You know, for whenever I did this run, sometimes that could be tight and it fails. But if I'm watching, I can just come out, go back in, rerun the key, and I'm fine. But you can see here, well over 24k blood already. Coming towards the end of the run. Everyone's just slamming ults at this point. Hit the 25k. And that's like an easy 2 key. But, you know, Hollow is a big part of making this happen. A big part of these kind of like rage regen style teams. And if I show you the stats here, in terms of healing, Volker's helping people heal a touch. But the lion's share is Hollow, keeping that team alive with the build that you saw earlier, which, you know, is not really focused around her healing. It's focused around building rage as quick as possible. So really, really cool champion for that. So outside of Guild Boss, I use her in Void Rift. I use her in Gear Raids as well. So Gear Raid 3, or 1, 3, and the dungeon when it's available, she's in all of those teams. So Gear Raid 1, I'm able to take down stage 20. I'll show you the team in action. I have done a video on this team like separately, but the idea here is I use big damage dealers. Like, I'm not going to lie, it's not like an all epic team or something. Carme, Dolores, and Vienna basically doing the work in terms of damage. Laurel again, boosting those guys, and then Hollow in this one comes in and gives me my rage regen as quick as possible on these. So we're just able to get our ults away more frequently, really. She's healing the team as well, don't get me wrong, but the main reason I was able to do this is because of the rage regen, getting back to the Carmate and Vienna ults quick enough that we're taking on the next wave and the next wave and the next wave. So they're a big part of how we're getting this done. In terms of Gear Raid 3, I'd say she's not as pivotal in my builds. Like, she's definitely, I mean, she's still one of the best in slot, don't get me wrong, but I don't think she's the main reason I'm able to clear Gear Raid 3. She's in Gear Raid 3 more as a healer, honestly. So she does a bit of healing work. And my Gear Raid 3 is more focused around having a really good Idril, doing work, and Silas, honestly. Silas was a big difference for me, so I'm not going to say that Hollow is the reason I clear it, but definitely helped. Once I get past this initial phase and we're smacking down the boss, and, you know, we've got Autumn throwing in damage, then Hollow comes in and she's basically making sure that I get my Idril ult back as quickly as possible. So I do a combination of using Hollow. I think I use, if I remember it rightly, I use Laurel in here as well. So I basically, yeah, take her out. If Laurel's back, we get Laurel off the board, and then Hollow will go back in whilst we're waiting for Laurel to come back. So that's a general kind of vibe. Did I say that? Did I not do it? But again, so not as pivotal, but still just a really, really good champion to be putting in the mix. And anywhere where I use her, I'm pretty much using her for the same reason. It's all about getting people's ults back as quick as possible whilst keeping everyone topped up. And you can see now she's kind of like giving everyone that rage regen. So super good epic. If you did pick her up, make sure you build her out. Make sure you build her well. And yeah, she'll do a ton of work for you. So there you go, guys. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you in the next one.